Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Thursdays with Tracy. Take care of my camera here real quick. I'm Tracy, and welcome to the show. I'm solo right now. Hopefully, I'll be joined by some others, but if not, I'm totally prepared to do this on my own. So, for the next hour, we've got a lot of things I want to talk about, um, some random thoughts I have. But before I get to that, remember to like this video, please. Our likes are way, way down. Um, Share this video after, of course, the live broadcast. You can always comment anytime after this airs if you so wish. And you can check out my website at www.tracymedia.com. You can join our virtual scavenger hunt, which is happening September the 3rd. Tickets are just $15. You can get the registration link at tracymedia.com/r-events. You can also join us on the 24th, started at 9:30 in the morning for our Beating the Duopoly. And of course, something new, I'm highly encouraging people to email me at tracymediallc.com. And it looks like we do have a person coming on. Hello, Anna.
Hey Tracy, how you doing?
Uh, Not good, not good, not good, not good, not good.
What's going on?
I've just been thinking about a lot of things, just a lot of random things. Um, and of course, I want to get to the news and then just totally go silly for the rest of the time because I just need I need something funny to distract me. I feel like I need something funny,
Okay,
and I
okay.
think Ben Shapiro might have given it to me, but I think I might agree with him. Um,
You
of
agree
course,
with Ben?
yeah, I know. He basically said Trump was too stupid. He said something I said that Trump is
Oh,
basically too stupid to have planned the terrorist attack. I'm like, you know what? I think I agree with that. Cause he not bright. He's not bright at all. The man is.
there's a difference between being intelligent, well-rounded, wow, well-rounded, and then being good at a certain thing. And what he's good at is being a mob boss. You
Yeah,
give
getting
me
other people to
loyalty,
do. Yeah, yeah.
and you do things for me. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
That part is true. Um, I wanted to first talk about someone you may not be familiar with. Like, yeah, you should. You know who R. Kelly is.
Oh, yes, I do.
He
I
got
I
sent.
don't think anybody doesn't now.
No, I don't know because your musical tastes are like. I thought mine were all over. No, yours are really all over. I'm like, who?
Yes,
Okay, but he got 30 years. Of
I heard.
course, they recommended 25. He got 30. I am not saying that he shouldn't have got a time. What he did was disgusting. It was horrible. But how
Hmm.
come he got less? He got more time than the lady that helped Epstein. It's just I'm like she only got 20. That's all she
Hmm.
got. Did she
Hmm.
confess anything? Because she refused to give names. She said, I'm not saying anything. She only got 20 years. He gets 30, which again, I'm not saying he shouldn't get jail time. He should
Hmm.
be getting jail time. But I'm like, there's a
Our
disparity.
penal code is really messed up. The years. I mean, the fact that we have a state that wants to give doctors more time in jail for than women for abortions. It's crazy. So
And
it doesn't need to make sense.
yeah, I'm going to play the race card. I'm definitely playing it because I'm like,
Go
this
ahead.
is this is ridiculous. I'm like, wait a
Yeah.
minute. They both did essentially the same crime. He
Hmm.
slept with the girls. She went and got girls so they could be raped. Same thing. 30, 20? Huh? What? Make that make sense to me because it doesn't. I'm like, okay, how
Oh
come?
yeah. Two-tier justice system all the way. Yeah.
I don't even think it's two tier. I don't think justice.
Well, I was speaking white black.
Oh, you were speaking white black. I was thinking fair unfair because I'm like, it's definitely not fair. But you're right.
No.
You're
Yeah.
you're definitely right because even a poor white person probably wouldn't have gotten the same
I
time
don't think so.
as a black person that was a little bit wealthier. But again, I want to be proven wrong. Um,
Right.
I also want to know. Okay, so this one is a little bit more complicated. So I'm gonna have to eat some crow here. I hate to eat crow, but when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Elizabeth Warren actually came up with a good idea. I am shocked. Everybody who watches this program knows I'm just not a fan of hers. I think she's a fake progressive. I don't just nothing she says I can get with.
Okay.
Finally, she came up with something I thought, dang nabbit, I agree with her. She said to the extent, and I'm just kind of paraphrasing this, that the president should put abortion clinics on federal sites in red states. And I thought, why didn't I think of that? That is actually a brilliant idea because the state doesn't have
That
jurisdiction
is a
over the federal. I'm
really
like,
good idea.
that's a really good idea. Of course, the administration said they're not considering
They,
it, but
no,
hey, whatever. But I'm like, wait a minute. I have to give credit to where credit's due. I'm just
yeah.
like, huh? What? That's a good idea. It never crossed my mind. It never.
No, me neither. That is quite good.
Yeah, because every state has federal land. Pretty
Mm-hmm.
much. I think maybe Alaska and Hawaii don't. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure all 50 states, plus the 50, plus the 7 other provinces. And that's a question I had to ask about this Roe v. Wade thing. Does it go for like Puerto Rico, Guam, and DC? Because technically those aren't states. Could you technically go to Washington, D.C. and get an abortion? It's not a state.
Hmm. That's a really good question.
I
I
mean,
have no idea.
yeah, and I want everybody to email me with this one. There's my email right there because I literally sat here and thought, well, what about Guam and Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands? Could somebody go there to get an abortion? Because technically, they're not states. Do our courts have jurisdiction over those states? Don't know. That see how I can ask good questions when I put my mind
That's
to it.
really good.
When I sit and think about it, because I'm like, well, wait a minute. I could just go to DC. If I ever got pregnant, I would faint. I'm telling you right now, you would just see me faint. But wait a minute, I think so.
Hey, dude.
Oh, they are. Okay,
They
because
are
I'm
under federal
like,
law.
okay, I'm like, well,
Okay.
can I go? I'm like, but they're not technically states. So I'm like, well, how can they be under? Okay, now I'm not going to ask how can they be under the federal law if they're not states. But okay, we'll just assume you're right because I sure thought it.
They are territories of the U.S., so
Oh yeah, that's right. I didn't think about that because I'm like, well, shoot, everybody just go to DC and get an abortion. But again, I'm eating crow because it was Elizabeth Warren. I'm like, but that's a good idea. That's a legitimately good idea. And
it is.
apparently, from what she was saying, and I don't know how true it is, the way she was saying it was he wouldn't need to go through like the Senate or Congress to do it. He could just do it as an executive order. I'm like, oh. The way I interpreted what she was saying, so I thought that was a really good idea. But
And that
apparently,
proves even more that there are things that can be done. They're just not willing to do them.
I said that same point Monday, and I don't know why. I was like, but I'm saying truth. They're not. I think what's happening now is that people are finally, the people in the streets are finally doing what I want them to do. Getting a hold of their legislators and saying, hey, y'all need to do something about this. Because when
Mm-hmm.
you get Nancy Pelosi, who I utterly detest, saying, hey, we need to get rid of the filibuster to codify this. This tells me that people in the streets have picked up their phones and said, oh no, you're going to either do something about this or I'm not voting for you. Looks
Mm-hmm.
like this has got another comment. Oh
True.
yeah, poor people are just poor. That's another good point. But I'm so glad that you got AOC, Nancy Pelosi, Elizabeth Warren, to some extent the vice president. Although I still say don't nobody let her do no more interviews. Stop. Don't.
Don't. Just don't.
Just she's good. She's a good speaker.
Is
But
she?
when yeah, here's what she does. She tries to use word salad, and it just comes. I'm like, no. Some people are really good at word salad. Like they are masters at it. She not one of them people.
Mm-mm.
Like if you got her one on one and just honestly ask her opinion, I pretty much believe she would tell you. But an interview, I was like, oh my gosh, when I rewatched that interview, I was just like, honey, don't go on TV no more.
Don't do
Just
it.
stand behind Joe Biden and just let him do all the talking, even though we don't know what he's saying either. But we could deal with him. But
It's terrible when
oh,
we'd rather go for Joe than
I
her.
think
Yeah.
she's worse than him because Joe
Mm-hmm.
Biden has had years of practice. Like he was in the Senate. He was in the Senate basically when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm. Me
So
too.
he's had practice, but whoo child. But now, yeah, I don't know how I feel about Liz, but she got that one right. But what was I going to say? Because that comment threw me off. Um, yeah, I think what's happening is the people in the streets have finally started contacting their Congress people and say, "Y'all better do something about this." And you got, like I said, you got AOC, Nancy Pelosi, uh, Senator
Contact your
Collins.
senators,
Yeah,
though.
senators. I'm like, where was you at when? But better late than never. Now they're
Mm-hmm.
all seem to be on one accord and calling for the end to not ending the filibuster, which is what I wish they would do,
Right.
but at least end it
Because you
for
know
this
that the
particular.
Republicans are gonna do it in a moment. So they should just end the filibuster now and get some stuff done. It would at least give us a couple of years. A year,
Yeah, but
whatever
as
it is.
soon as they take control, they're going to end the filibuster. They'll be like,
Yeah,
"Oh, we don't need it now. Oh, well, what? What's
yeah.
a filibuster? We don't know. We thought about it. What is it? What's it
Hmm.
called again? Who?
The
Um,
Republicans are not afraid to do things like this to end decades of precedents.
yes, and everybody's using that word, and it's so. I haven't heard that word so much in these past 2 weeks until that decision came down. They've been on a real roll. I mean,
Hmm.
first it was the Miranda laws, then it was the gun laws, then it was Roe v. Wade. Then it came prayer in school. Then
Sure.
it was the newest one with the EP. I was like, oh, they are just showing they ugly side. They are
And
just really doing
every single time, 6-3, it's
6-3. And you know what I wish they would do, and I know that the Democrats don't have enough votes to do with this. But if they campaigned on this, I would forget every criticism of the Democratic Party that I ever had. If they would say, you know what, when we get the Senate, we're going to impeach Clarence Thomas, we're going to impeach
mm-hmm.
Brett Kavanaugh, we're going to impeach Gorsuch, because I still can't
Gor
pronounce his
Gorsuch.
Gorsuch. Thank you. Yeah, that
Gorsuch.
guy.
Yes.
Um, Amy Coney Barrett. Get those four. Clarence
Get
Thomas
those
should just
four
be gone just because of
gone.
his wife. We get the house, they're gone. Okay, I'll give you not just $15. I'll give you $50.
Hmm.
I will throw out a $50 donation.
Hmm.
You do that because clearly three of them definitely lied to get on the court. Definitely
Yes,
lied. Definitely
absolutely.
lied under oath. I'm like,
It's on video and everything.
yeah, and then they're like, the Supreme Court is doing what people like me have warned about for 12 years. Yeah, because if you think
Hmm.
about it, Mitch Mc, I'm not going to call him what I'm wanting to call him because this is my show and I don't do that. He stopped basically Obama's pick for Supreme Court
Hmm.
because it was too close to the election. Trump gets in 3 weeks later. Oh, yeah, let's get this. Wait a minute, Mitch. Wait a minute, Mitch. And when the hypocrisy is pointed out, he's like, what's the problem?
Yeah, I'm getting what I want, so I see no problem here.
Yeah, and if you look at it, if they ended the filibuster for this vote only, they would have, if Manchin keeps to his word and votes to codify, and then you would have Murkowski from Alaska, Susan Collins, Kirsten Sinema, plus all the other ones. That's 52. That
Could be
clearly would, yeah, because if you don't need the filibuster, all you would need is 51.
the
But they
51
would
votes,
have
right?
52 if they would suspend the filibuster. But nobody in the Senate is willing to say I'm willing to suspend the filibuster, and I'm wondering why. If they say this is important, just like they did for voting rights when Kirsten Sinema got up there and made that big speech, quoted Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King all wrong and out of context.
Hmm.
Says she admired John Lewis, but then said, I'm not going to stop the filibuster to pass the Voters' Right Act. How do we pressure them to take the next step in saying, hey, we need you to eliminate the filibuster for this? And some other things that I'll name here in a couple of minutes.
How do we pressure our senators? Have
Yeah,
we
how do
ever
we?
pressured our senators into doing anything?
Yeah, things I'm getting to that here in just a couple seconds.
Oh, yeah.
That's the portion because if you look at, I know Washington has two senators. Every state has two senators, but your two
Hmm.
senators, are they Republican or Democrat?
Mine are Democrat.
So you have
Patty
two.
Murray and Maria Cantwell.
Okay, so you have two Democratic senators. These is
Hmm.
from Georgia. They have two Democratic senators. I'm not so lucky. I got two idiot Republican senators from my state. I could call, protest, lay on the ground, chain myself to the door. They're not changing their vote.
Mm-mm.
But, but, when you call them, you don't have to tell them where you live. I don't think. I think you just call their.
Yes, yes, you
You
do.
do?
You.
Because I called somebody's office and I never told them where I was from. I just said I'm
Hmm.
a concerned citizen and I'm calling for whatever it was I was called from, but that was years ago, so maybe they changed it.
Yeah, anytime that I call in, I have to give out my whole address and good
Yeah.
point.
So if we can't pressure them, then we know that if the Republicans take charge of the Senate, we know where Roe is going to go. So we have to do something. Like now is the time to do something.
Agree.
But
And I like your plan. One of my senators is up for re-election this year, Patty Murray, and yes, they do discard those calls when you don't have anything relating them back to, oh, this is my state, this is a constituent of mine, then no. Um, and I think that's a great idea. I actually was planning on giving her a call, and I know that she's somebody, Patty Murray, who is against doing away with the filibuster. So, yeah, that's a great idea.
and why are they? And this is what I don't understand about this. They're against doing away with this filibuster. I think the Democrats have used the filibuster one time, and that was in like 1992. I was like 18. I'm now 48. So that means it's been 30 years since you've ever used it. Why are you so, why are you wanting to hold on to something that one is not in the Constitution and two has its roots in racism? The filibuster is clearly a racist ideal that for some reason some senators want to hold on to, and I'm like, for what? I
Right.
you're gonna have to explain that to me because I'm just like, okay, I'm not getting it.
The reason that they always give me when I ask that question is because they're afraid of the Republicans when it is that they get power and they know it's coming back soon. Um, they're afraid that without that tool, they won't be able to block anything that they're doing. And that's a weak excuse. You're not getting anything done right now. Yeah, yeah. That's, they
Yeah,
want some protection.
yep.
And really,
And I'm
we
gonna
could come up with something better.
we gotta do something because I know I just have a sick feeling. I know they're probably gonna win the House. I can pretty much say the House is like a done deal. But the Senate, it seems like the Democrats have somewhat of a chance of maintaining the Senate. Um, I
Really?
hope. I hope. I'm hopeful. I mean, they're not gonna turn. Um, Rand Paul isn't as much as I would love it. I don't think Rand Paul is gonna lose to Charles Booker. I don't
Mm.
see it. I would love it. Hey, I almost want to move down to Kentucky just so I can vote against Rand Paul, but then I got my own races here and I can't be doing that. I want to see it, but I'm like, is it going to happen? Probably not.
Mm.
Um, if the Democrats can pick up Pennsylvania, that means they're going to have to support Fetterman, who's more progressive.
Mm-hmm.
They would have to support. They can't not support him because they need Pennsylvania. There's no
Yeah.
way they can say, okay, we're not going to support you. I can see them saying that with Booker because we're like, well, Kentucky is Republican, whatever. But
Mm. Depending on
Pennsylvania,
where.
I can't see them not coming out for Fetterman. I just can't. And maybe I got this whole thing wrong.
There's a lot of right-leaning people in Pennsylvania. It is a big state.
Yeah, but he won every single county. Every single county he won. And
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Oz, really? Really?
In,
He's not
in
one.
primaries,
I know in primaries,
basically,
but really, come on. The man doesn't even wash his chicken. Come on, you gotta be joking.
hmm,
But
no, I don't know what's going to happen there.
I would hope that the Democrats maintain the control
I have,
over the Senate. That's what I hope.
I hope so
Um,
too.
but it's like I said, there's got to be something we can do. I just don't know what it is because I feel like it's got to be more than protesting. Protesting is fine. I don't want to say don't protest. It's your right.
Yeah.
And so they tried to decide to change that um,
Mm.
to protest. You should protest anytime you think there's like something insane or
And use your time. When you're protesting out there, talk to the people who are out there with you.
yes.
Wait, what? The election
Yeah,
is
I
up for
think
grabs.
I got the last part. I do feel like they are not going to vote at all. Okay,
I'm not saying that the Republicans are going to vote Democrats.
Democrats.
I don't exactly understand what you're saying there,
I
Marlon.
think I get it. I think what he's saying is that some Republicans. I don't think Republicans would vote for Democrats at all.
Oh,
Because
oh,
if you
okay.
think about it, 63% of white women voted for Trump. For some reason, I don't know why. I know, Anna, it wasn't you, but I'm just,
Wasn't me. It was
it,
so not me.
it was, I have to report the facts.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Yeah,
facts.
I'm so ashamed of my cousins. Let me say it that way.
Well, um, I think I was thinking about something. Oh, and I see his face in my head, and I can't think. The guy who's got the podcast. And
Is
Trump
your sugar
fired.
okay, honey? You can't think today.
Yeah, I can't. I'm just like, da, 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 da.
They won't cross over.
Crossover.
They will.
It's
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
it'll let you stay at home.
Mhm.
And I think the other thing, and then like I said, we're going to get to the fun part. I just want to get all this serious stuff just out of the way, just kind of get it out my system because I've been just processing. I I wish that people would just look at the facts and look at what it is that the people who say they're on your side are doing. As much as I do not like the Republican Party, and oh goodness, I don't like them, they told their voters, hey, you put us in and we're going to reverse Roe v. Wade.
Mhm.
They put them in, and guess what they did? They reversed Roe v. Wade. Now, yes, they did it underhanded. Three of the justices definitely lied under oath, but they can't be impeached because we don't have the numbers to impeach them. Basically, we don't have the numbers.
You need a
One of them,
supermajority.
yeah, we need a supermajority. Um, then you look at the other side; they say they're for you, but boy, I'm like, their first reaction to the news is, let's send out a fundraising letter.
Mm.
I'm like, why is this the first thing I'm getting? Why is this the first thing I'm getting? Now that we're not going to stand for this, we're going to fight, we're going to protest, we're going to. Nope. Give us $15. Huh? What? Say that again?
The thing is, that letter would have come reversal or no reversal. That ask for the $15, that would have come no matter what was going on in the country today. And every single day, I know that I get so many different, like Nancy Pelosi asking me. I'm in Washington, I'm not in California. I've got AOC asking, I've got um, people who are still running for office, and I don't have a whole lot of money. I can barely help my own local politicians. So all of these fundraising emails and all, it really makes you feel hopeless and like you can't do anything because wow, I can't even give him $15. What can I do?
I, I'm going to take the opposite. I'm going to be your opposite. I'm your bizarro
Go
today.
for it.
I think they don't. I think there are some who don't want it to be codified because they use it as a fundraising ploy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if we put the opponent, if we keep talking about the opponent and the obstacle, we can raise more money. If Roe is codified, then what else am I going to go to? I don't like to think like that, but boy, getting that right after, literally the decision came down at like 1 o'clock, and I got a fundraising letter at 1:30. Like that's 30 minutes.
Yeah, I'm not
You know,
surprised.
like, huh? Like, was you sitting there like, okay, now how they gonna, okay, overturn $15? I think the timing of it is what made me so angry because I'm sitting
Mm-hmm.
here watching women's autonomy get stripped from them, and I have to sit here and listen to, well, if you elect us, we'll codify it. What was you doing the last 40 years? What were you doing?
And I would really love to hear some further explanation from AOC about how she was claiming that they didn't have the numbers in Obama's
Yes.
supermajority. Please explain that.
I think one train of thought is, I got two things I'm gonna say about that. I'm glad you brought that up and not me. So what she's getting at, well, she's basically saying they didn't have enough votes. So either all of those Democrats that were running saying they were pro-choice were complete liars, or they were complete liars. You can't tell me that was a filibuster proof majority we had
Majority.
in both the
Mm-hmm.
House and the Senate. Yes, the economy was terrible. It was terrible and needed to be addressed. That was our number
Mm-hmm.
one issue. But you can't walk and chew gum at the same time.
Indeed, they could have.
And so now I'm supposed to believe you when you send me another email. I want somebody to explain to me that and
It
explain to me
seems
why
that their main job is to make money.
money. It, see, we on the same page now.
True, you
True.
know.
They'll
And
find
you could
something.
use this issue to get a major victory for the Democrats,
And they're saying,
but
oh,
they
well,
won't.
go vote. Okay, yes, we should vote. But
Hmm.
for who? What are you going to do? We sent you a majority in the House. Now, you don't have a clear majority in the Senate because you have a 50-50 tie
Hmm.
with Kamala Harris being the tiebreaker. But who knew when Joe Biden was campaigning back in Georgia that there were going to be two, maybe even more problematic Democratic senators?
Hmm.
I mean, no one outside of Washington could have saw that coming. I certainly didn't. I thought, oh well,
No.
they got clear majority. We're gonna give. First of all, I stupidly thought voting rights was gonna be easy. I thought, oh, they can't not get this one. It's right there. Boom, bam. You got this person. You got this person. Nope. Every Republican voted against it. What, huh? What? Say that again. But you're not racist. Okay. Uh, then you had Cinema, who voted for it, but
Hmm.
wouldn't override the filibuster. So in
The
other words,
filibuster.
she's saying that the filibuster is more important than my right to vote. The people
Hmm.
in Arizona, if she runs for reelection, y'all better know what to do. I'm telling you right now, y'all better know what to do, and that's
They
to
do.
get her out and send
Hmm.
somebody else because it's just not.
I don't think she would even win a primary. Everybody there is really,
You know, I
they
would
hate
say
her.
that about Joe Manchin, but he's extremely popular in West Virginia. I can't
He's a different
explain it.
story.
I don't know why. I'm like, but he constantly votes against you. Why are you for him?
Most of the people are Republican leaning, even if they say that they are Democrats. Yes, we need at least five more.
I would say seven, but yeah, five is a good number to start at.
At least.
Because
Mm-hmm.
you gotta eliminate Manchin and Cinema. Somehow just make their
Mm-hmm.
votes. Because I feel like if they were that much, not a factor, that they would vote right in line. Like if there was enough Democratic senators to make their votes not as crushing, then they would be like, okay, I'll vote for it. But now they're doing it. It seems like, especially Sinema, like she's just doing it out of spite. She literally said in her campaign she was for one thing, got elected,
Mm-hmm.
and then did the. I'm like, I don't see how she runs for re-election because I personally think she's got the presidency right in her pathway. I'm not saying she's gonna win, but I think she's clearly wanting to run.
She can want to run all she wants.
That's another thing. Yes, if we made the territory states like Puerto Rico, Guam, DC is the one I kind of sit on the fence about because, but yes, we definitely need to make territory states. I absolutely agree with that. Absolutely.
If they want to be.
But I thought they all wanted to be.
Um, there are some definite benefits to getting statehood, but I know a lot of Puerto Ricans that wish that they weren't anything to do with the USA.
But they
So,
use our money, they use our resources, they use everything.
because they have no other choice.
Well, then they become a separate nation and they get their own money and they get their own. I guess I don't understand what I'm like. That's all they've ever had. It's not like they've had some others. Well, they did have their own. other system. They tried to make them states. Guess who voted them down? The Senate did. Doesn't
Mm,
that have to be to make a state? Don't you have to have like six? Like you have to have 2/3 of the Senate and 2/3 of the House, and then each state has to
who
ratify it?
was,
Or is that a constitutional amendment? I may be getting them confused.
I think that's a constitutional amendment. Who was it that voted the statehood down?
I know Josh Hawley voted against DC being a state because he said there weren't any car dealerships in Washington, D.C., therefore they couldn't be a state. Yes, that was his actual real reason. Real
Okay,
reason.
okay.
So I said I was going to get all the heavy stuff out of the way because it's just making my head hurt. I think I might take
Mm,
another week. Oh, boy. So I want to get to some fun stuff.
alrighty.
So I just got some questions. Why do people like hot sauce? I literally don't understand it. It's nasty. It serves no purpose. It's hot for no reason. Maybe because I'm not a fan of spicy foods per
I
se, but hot
can't
sauce is
eat spicy
just
foods, so.
hot sauce is just one of the most unnecessary condiments besides mayonnaise that I've ever heard. I'm like, for what? What are you doing? Like people, I know people that put hot sauce on their collard greens or their mixed greens, their chili, their chicken, their eggs. I'm like, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. I know I'm going off about hot sauce, but what do you think is a useless condiment
Oh boy.
besides mayonnaise? I mean, we know
Mm,
mayonnaise is useless.
is mayonnaise a condiment?
It's a condiment like ketchup, mustard, soy
Mm,
sauce, Worcestershire sauce. I never can say it right.
where's the
Hey,
Herster Hooster Heister Hoom? Yeah, that. Yeah, I can't say it right either. Um, I don't know. I guess I would have to kind of be on the hot sauce train with you, because
it just serves no purpose.
no,
And it's not,
why would you like your lips to be melting off? I don't know.
and it's not so. It's like, oh, let me see how hot I can make it. And some people literally will take hot sauce and put it on everything they eat. Why are you doing that? Another thing I don't understand: hot dog buns and hamburger buns. Why not just use regular bread? Why am I buying a hot dog bun when I could just use a loaf of a slice of bread or two slices of bread for my hamburgers, a slice of bread for my hot dog? Why do I have to buy the bun specifically for that item? I don't understand that. I literally don't.
These are questions I've never even really thought about.
Yes, and I tell you another one you didn't ponder this. That song Friends, talking about the dictionary doesn't know the meaning of friends. Yes, it does. The word friends is in the dictionary. How do you even say that line and the word friends is in the dictionary? There's a song called Friends. How many of us have them? And then it goes on talking about, and then it says the dictionary doesn't know the. Yes, the dictionary does know the meaning of friends. The
Okay.
dictionary definitely knows the meaning of friends. It's right there in that book called The Dictionary. Other question. Now, all my feminist friends are going to hate me for this, and I can't. Why don't they bring beauty pageants back? I miss the Miss Congeniality competition. I seriously miss where they asked the young lady, what do you want to work for? And her answer is always one thing: world peace. I miss that. I don't miss the objectifying of women. I
Oh,
don't miss that part. But the miss congeniality portion, oh, I miss the. And I don't miss the evening gown. Anything where you got to look at her. But they always say world peace. Doesn't matter what the issue is. Doesn't matter what the question is. It's like world peace. What about it? I miss that. I miss that Miss Congeniality portion of the Miss USA, Miss America. I always get them confused because I know Trump used to own one of them, but I don't know if he owns it now. Thing. The dictionary is not somebody. When you want to know what a word means, you go to the dictionary. That's the book that you go to because it will tell you the meaning of that word. Don't say that the dictionary doesn't know the meaning when the word is right there in the dictionary. And no, I'm not going to buy bread in many forms. I'm just going to buy bread. It's rough out here in these streets. I don't see why I got to buy hamburger buns when two slices of bread will just do the same exact thing. Hamburger buns are like $2.16. Loaf of bread, 76 cents. Oh, I don't know which one I'm going with. I have no idea. Let me spend this $2.16 on these 8 hamburger buns, or I could spend 79 cents on this
You got
whole
cheap
loaf of
food.
bread.
Man, ours
Yeah,
are over $1 for a loaf and over $3 for some buns, I believe.
nah, I don't. No, no. I go to the coupon card, and I go off brand. I never buy name brand anything.
Yeah,
Oh,
we.
that's not true because there's two items I won't buy off brand: personal hygiene products. No, and I won't
Mm,
buy macaroni and cheese off brand. For some reason, I can't eat anything other than Kraft. It has to be Kraft, or it's like, well,
could make your own.
I could do what?
You could make
I
your
could do
own.
what?
Yep, then don't buy it. It's very, very simple. If you don't want it, don't buy it.
That's true. Other question. Um, what do you think about? And I don't know how I felt about this. Walmart recently got in trouble for the Juneteenth ice cream, and I never talked about the Juneteenth ice cream.
Oh, and the Pride ice cream too.
Yes,
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
price. Yeah, and I was like, but everybody got mad about that, as well as they should.
Hmm.
But I'm like, but Walmart does this like all the time. They had
All the
Pride
time.
ice cream. They had St. Patrick's Day. They had Christmas. I'm like, they do this all the time. Now,
If
y'all,
they can commercialize it, they will.
exactly. I was like, okay, but why? Why was? I guess I don't understand. And maybe CS can explain it because he's here commenting. Like, nope. Everybody just like ignored all the other times they commercialized a holiday. That's what society does. The department store that has an Easter sale, Easter Day sale. Okay, no way, no better way to celebrate the resurrection of my Savior than to go to Macy's and buy overpriced perfume. That's the perfect thing. Because when I think
Hmm.
of one, I have to associate the other one. I mean, risen Savior, overpriced clothes. Okay, it's an even thing. It's I mean every major corporation
Hmm.
commercializes holidays. I can't think of anybody that doesn't. Now I haven't seen any Juneteenth commercials, but I think they're coming.
Yeah, give it time. Give it time.
And I'm like, okay, everybody, and we should be mad about it. We should. Don't get me wrong. We should be mad about it because it's tacky and this store isn't known. Wait a minute. I wasn't crying. I was just like, hey, what about all the other stuff?
Yeah, good
Yeah,
point, Biz.
yeah, but I just don't want to see Macy's is gonna have a Juneteenth sale. No, they did have a Juneteenth sale, and nobody said any. Yes, we're
Wow.
celebrating Juneteenth, and they had some black designers, and then they stopped carrying their designs like after a week. I'm like a whole week. That'll do it. Martin Luther King's birthday. His birthday comes across. We celebrate freedom, and you can have 70% off. What does one thing have to do with? I just people should expect this when something becomes a national holiday. You just better
Hmm.
expect evil corporation to think, oh, we're going to capitalize off this. We're going to. We don't know how to do anything else. And
Hmm.
it's their fault. I mean, look at what they do to Christmas, one of my favorite holidays. I'm like, do you really know what Christmas is about? Or are you just taking a good stab in the dark on it? Let's pull out an overpriced tree that you'll only use once a year.
Hmm. Yeah.
Exactly. If they were actually teaching what Juneteenth was about, what had a little display, I still
Yeah.
wouldn't think it was okay. But
Uh,
Christmas, oh, you're saying pagan. The celebration part of it for me is not, but I get what you're saying. And somebody's gonna say Easter is too, but my mama called it Easter. I'm gonna call it Easter. That's just the way it is.
the church put Christian holidays around pagan holidays so that they could overtake and say, "Oh, they mean the same thing." They're, but Christmas
Yeah, but
itself, no,
yeah,
solstice is
Jesus.
pagan.
Yeah, Jesus probably not likely born December 25th. More like September ish, but we don't know the exact date.
Mm,
We're not saying it's not, but I'm just saying it's some of us that celebrate it. That's all I'm saying. But you're supposed to
I don't know
celebrate.
of any pagans that celebrate the Son of God, but
No, I'm talking about Christians. I wasn't talking about pagans. I said,
oh,
me
okay.
as a Christian, I still celebrate Christmas. I still celebrate Easter. I still celebrate. I know why. I mean, I know the history of what you said, and it's made
Hmm.
perfect sense. But I guess I'm so used to calling it that, and so used to, oh, it's in
Hmm.
December. Da 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 da. I don't stop to think, that's probably not the time that he was born. So why am I doing it on this day as opposed to August the 10th? I guess I never stopped to think about that. That is a good point. And now we know. And knowing's half the battle. G.I. Joe. Okay, so the next point that I want to make here, why is Mitch McConnell still in the Senate? That man's been there since I was 10. Like, dude, go away. Retire.
Been there my whole life. I don't remember anything without him.
I don't remember a time when Mitch McConnell wasn't in the Senate. I remember Mitch McConnell when he
Hmm.
was much younger. I remember when he had his first
Yep.
wife, married his second one. Why am I remembering
Hmm.
all of these things about you? Sometimes, and I don't want to do ageism because I don't believe in discriminating against people because of their age. I don't believe in ageism. But it's some of y'all, oh, y'all needs to go.
Really, at this point, I'd be in there for if they said everybody over 80 should leave. I'd be like, okay, it is a known fact. Our brains, we don't get better with each year. We get worse. And I don't care how much you like your power. I don't care how much money that you're making. Go and enjoy your grandkids, your family. Nobody is on their deathbed saying, I wish I had worked more. Nobody.
Do you know how many senior citizens work at Walmart and they all work there because they have to? They would
Hmm.
rather be retired, living it up, but of course, they can't. Mitch is still there because neither God nor Satan
Oh,
want him.
Theus.
You know
That's that
what?
may be true. He may be too much for
I'm like,
Lucifer.
dude, I've seen heartless people because I thought Lindsey Graham was heartless. He's just stupid. But Mitch McConnell is just the most heartless person like I've ever seen. Trump runs a close second, but Mitch McConnell is clearly in first place. He literally said that he was against reparations because, well, we elected Barack Obama president. What, What does that have to do? Wait a minute. What does one thing have to do with another? What?
And the sky is blue. So, oh.
And they get a vacation every 6 weeks. This is why
Mhm.
people run for office because they're like, shoot, I get in there,
Yeah.
all I gotta do is fundraise. I don't have to really do anything. I get a vacation every 6 weeks. I get a
Mhm.
lifetime pension. Easy. Just getting elected is hard if you really stand on morals and principles and values. But if you don't and you're willing to sell them out, it's a buyer. That's why I always
Mhm.
get mad at people when they say, well, why don't corporations stop influencing elections? They're literally giving hundreds of thousands of dollars and getting $1 billion contracts. Why would they stop? There's no incentive for them to stop. And with our Supreme Court doing Citizens United, saying that corporations are people, there's really no reason for them to stop. Wow, he really owned it today.
Yeah, you
Um,
are, Chris.
Another thing I wonder, and this is about me, and we'll spend the last couple minutes talking about this because I shared this with the group yesterday, and I want to get everybody's opinion on this. That's why I'm sharing it with the whole world today. So July 23rd is coming up. And every day, July 23rd, the date of the Medicare for All March Indiana is coming. And a couple things run in my mind. Number one, why are we rallying for something we already should have is the main point. Two, I'm extremely terrified of public speaking because I'm not a good public speaker at all. Three, I'm afraid I'm just going to get up there and be like this and staring around like I don't know what I'm doing. And four, if I ever open up my big mouth again, I want somebody to stop me. Just stop me. When I did just say, Tracy, no. Because I feel like this whole thing started. I just had one little thing I wanted to do: get in a rally, wear a sandwich board sign, and say Medicare for all. Nope, turned into a whole thing. And I'm
Mhm.
like, how? How?
Write your speech down. Write at
I've
least
tried.
a few things down.
I've tried to, I've tried that 4 or 5 times, and I keep changing it, and I keep changing it, and I'm like, this doesn't sound right. This sounds dumb. This sounds ridiculous. I shouldn't say this.
Mhm.
And I keep looking at. Maybe what I should do is write it down and have somebody look at it and say, "Hey, is this okay?" Because what I have written down, I keep changing it. I'm
Go
like,
ahead.
it's
Send it to us. We'll
yeah.
absolutely look
Because
at it.
all I wanted to say was, "Healthcare is a right. Thank you for coming," and then just stop. And then that just
Okay,
be all
so
I say.
people are going to want to know, why are you there? Why are
Yeah,
you
I know. And
speaking?
I'm like, because I'm here. I support it. Duh. I just want to say the minimum, like the
And that's all you
least
need
bit.
to keep to. Is you see how well you speak on YouTube. I know it's different when you have a microphone and a lot of people in front of you, but really, nobody cares if you are reading from a piece of paper. Nobody cares if you trip over some words. Nobody, they are here for all the same reasons that you are there. And yes, you practice lots, but
Oh boy, yeah, I keep changing. That's the thing. I try to write it down. Like, okay, I'm gonna say this because I'm one of those ones. I hate late planning. I will plan things years and years and years in advance. I can't stand last minute nothing. I can't stand. So I'm like, okay, write it out now. And then I look at it, I'm like, that doesn't work. Scratch that. Then do something else. And then do something else. I'm like, oh no, why can't this date be 6 months away? Literally, it was November. It was 2 days after Thanksgiving. And I said, oh, Indiana should have a march. Then the first week of December, we met. It was like so far away that I wasn't thinking about it. Then January creeped up. Then February. Then March. Then April. Then May. And now June. Tomorrow's July. I'm like, oh. Oh, boy. But I will do that. I will write down this is what I want to say. Because I don't want to speak. There's going to be plenty of speakers. Plenty of speakers.
And really, you three little things that, why you believe we should have Medicare for all, because you believe healthcare is a right. Boom. Who are you? Why are you there? I'm Tracy. I dealt with medical bullshit all my life. Excuse me, sorry. But and Medicare for all would greatly change that. Let me give you two little instances. When we don't have to worry about insurance anymore, we won't have to pay drug prices, and we won't have to pay any co-pays. You're out.
Now just write all that down. I'm like, because you
Take
know I
what I
can.
wrote to you before. Start with that. Take out
Yeah,
what you don't like.
yeah. Because you know me, I can definitely talk. I've done a whole 2 hour show by myself and just go.
Mm-hmm.
I do not want to be all day because the whole rally itself is like an hour and 30 minutes. I think that's our time. We want to be an hour and 30 because it's going to be July. It's going to be hot. We're like, no,
You're not
we
going to
not.
be speaking for more than 2 to 3 minutes.
Yeah, and I'm
At,
gonna make those
and
the
that's a lot.
fast. That's gonna be the fastest 2 minutes that I've ever had. I'm like, thank you.
Yeah. And people don't want to sit around and listen to really, really, really long speeches either. So just get to the point.
Yeah, they do. They go to Trump rallies all the time.
Yeah, those aren't our people.
Oh yeah, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right about that. I'm like, yeah, because I'm like, hey,
No.
yes, I'm what you think. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's it. 5 minutes, I think is too long. I think
Yeah,
about two to
that's a bit
three,
long.
2 to 3 for somebody in my position because definitely I'm gonna be like moving from here to there and there to there and trying to help. I'll be there for the support, what I call the support staff, because I'll be the ones probably talking to the press, which I got that part down. I'm like, okay, I know exactly what I'm gonna say because that's a one-on-one type of situation.
Mm-hmm.
Um, got my interview scheduled. Those are good because again, that's a one-on-one. But a big crowd, that's where I'm having the. So yeah, I'll do that. That's a good idea. Is get Anna to write it. Like yeah,
I will help you. I will do that.
yep. So we got 3 minutes left. What
That was
else?
quick.
Didn't it go by quick? So that's why I talked about hot sauce is still not a condiment. Still, it's the worst condiment. That hot sauce and mayonnaise. They're like one and two. I don't know which one is one and which one is two. Hot sauce is just disgusting. Stop putting it on everything. And yes, you can use bread in place of a hot dog bun. It works exactly the same. And it does like hot dog buns have like a lot of bread on them. You just
Doesn't look as cool.
it's still bread. It's exactly the same thing. Um, Generic ice cream sometimes tastes better than national brand ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
Like
They do.
really does. Because that's what I got at generic. I'm like, oh, this is really good. Um, so we got 2 minutes left. Tell everyone where they can find you.
I have a website. It's called borreliaetc.com. BORRELIAETC.com. And talks about family life with chronic illness. So there's a whole bunch of different stuff there: blogs, videos, artwork, poetry. My family, we deal with things a little differently than most. So we thought we'd share. That's us.
Thank you so much for plugging your website. I want to remind everyone, and I forgot to put the links up. Remember to support Marlon's Patreon, Thea's Patreon, support Anna. You can email me at that address because as this show winds down, remember this next month or starting tomorrow, there's only 4 episodes of Tracy Thursdays with Tracy left. That's it. We're down to the
Mm-hmm.
last 4. So show ideas we will need, and we'll morph over into the Tracy show, but I'll talk about that when we get to talking about that. So remember to like this video, share this video, subscribe to it. The Patreon supporters, you all have the link. Our discussion will be best rapper turned actor. If you're a Patreon, you can join us. We'll see you in about a minute. Talk to you all later and have a great evening.